scream bravo. Also, if you didn't know, this is called the show.
Hey everybody, it's Paul from Gauntlet Comics. Welcome to another episode of Eye for Indies. Today we're going to be looking at the epic crossover with Marvel Comics and Crusade Entertainment with Daredevil Shi. You may be saying, Paul, it's Eye for Indies. Why are you showing one of the major two? Well, because this was a thing back then, especially with DC and IDW and other independent comic companies. There's always a lot of good crossovers going on, and this was one of them. I think that I also have the Wolverine and Shi, which I'm going to find out, and we'll do that next week, but we'll flip-flop it and do that one on Thursday for a Hulk-Verine Devil. So before we go forward, just want to do a quick gold thumbs up to two creators in the community that I really appreciate. First one's going to be James Reyes. His channel is The Box Office Artist. Guy's got a great talent for art. He worked for many companies over the years, some major animation studios. I think he even worked for Marvel at one point, or IDW, or maybe even Dark Horse. But his style is phenomenal. He does a early morning live stream where he draws. And don't worry, it's not boring. This is why I like this guy. He's very energetic, very positive. He's a fanboy himself. He's a fanboy for us, for the fans. So if you get a chance, check out his content. If you like good art and the production of it, this is your guy. My second channel that I want to point out is one called Kitty Kitty Boom Boom. This belongs to an old friend of mine. I've known him for years. I'm not going to say his name right now because I'm not sure where he's at with his privacy, if he wants to stay anonymous. But absolutely love this guy. I've known him for years. Learned a lot of lessons from him in the hospitality industry. Just really good. In fact, it cracked me up because I was thinking about how long we've known each other. It's almost been 20 years now. Well, what's interesting about his channel is that he has some great mashups that he's done. One of my favorite is Sabotage and Led Zeppelin Black Dog. Really great mashup. He also has some little clips in there of his old dogs. Both are cool as heck, but the one that's really interesting is Jojo. He told me so much about this dog. I never got to meet it, but I truly believe him when he says he was the best dog ever. He was a three-legged rat terrier, and just a great amount of energy. You'll see this through these clips. So look for the references above in the info cards. Also, while we're talking about creators, you also want to remember to check out Billy Tucci's YouTube as well. Very interesting. A lot of good content in there. So without further ado, let's dig into this book. This will be a little bit of Hulk-Verine Devil fever as well. So if I start slipping, please forgive me. So this came out in February of 1997. Once again, Daredevil and Shi. This is like a really good mix. Shi, if you don't know, is a trained martial artist. I believe she's a trained warrior by her father, but she's also a devout Catholic because her mom was a Catholic missionary. And I thought that was funny of how that could really play off of each other between these two. As we know, Daredevil has always had a conflict with religion, especially during the Frank Miller run. And he's Catholic. So I was really interested in that. But let's take a look at this cover. It's a great cover. Got a nice gold outline. Works off of the royal blue very well. It's a direct edition. Got that 90s feel to it, of course. You can see it right in here. And, of course, the long hair. Textures are great. From what I can see, this cover was inked by Al Williamson and then drawn by Jamal Yazim Igal. Please forgive me, I'm not too familiar with him. While we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at the credit page. So the way this plays out, there's two of them. You have Daredevil Shi, which Marvel Comics produced, and then you have Shi Daredevil, which Crusade Entertainment will produce. Here's your lineup of talent. Christopher Golden, Peter Gutierrez, all great writers right here, especially Billy. Christopher Golden, once again for script. You have your pencils and inks. Your lettering, Richard Starking's been around a while. John Kelly's. As you go down, here's your Crusade Entertainment lineup. For the most part, this is mostly your president, Billy Tucci, of course, your office manager. Nothing really to do with the art or writing, because that's not their turn this time. Next time will be. One thing I found interesting as I've been going through my indie career here, or not career, but collections, a lot of this going on. Legal representation listed right in the front. This isn't the first time I've seen this. And it sort of makes me chuckle, but I guess I get it because, there's a lot of issues that can come up. A lot of people say they have independent proprietorship. They're not independent proprietorship. What am I thinking? IP. Independent property. So there might be some kind of legal disputes at times. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but just overall. And then down here you have, as I told you, Daredevil Shi, Volume 1, Number 1, February 1997. Okay. So we start out. We're in Manhattan. It's just before Christmas. Of course, you have a conflict between Daredevil and this group of ninjas. By the way, if you love Crimson and Red like I do, this is your book. Lots of Crimson and Red. Overall, I like the book, the art in this book. There's some spots I'm just not too hyper crazy about. It's not the artist's fault. It's not my style, not my preference. Another thing that drives me crazy is squeezing in this bottom panel. Sometimes it works really well, like here. It works really good, but later on I'll show you one where it just does not work. So we go through. Good usage of your art with words. Lettering is spot on, of course. I actually like that the story has got a good flow to it. And here's where I don't like it. This is really, look at, they did 2 frames down here. Cut this guy off. I'm sure it's by design, but just, I don't know. And then over here, they do a little backer on Daredevil. They're actually showing his powers at play. You got that sonar. I like how they did this ink wash on there. As you see, they keep that up. Of course, the same internal dialogue or third-party dialogue, or actually second-party dialogue, second person. Catches the vase. Got the sonar going on. He can see everything that's happening. Finds out those guys that he was fighting are part of the Mikado, or Makoto, which is a splinter of the hand. So we go on to the next day. There's a trial going on. And of course, this is going to involve Stephen Timmons and Peter Denise. We have Ben Urich in here, a veteran reporter for the Daily Bugle. Got they're at trial. And what's really cool is they show the narration by Ben down here, like it's the newspaper article. Go down. Matthew's cross-examining. It's pretty intense. He ends up winning it for the bad guy. He has a defense lawyer. And then he goes through and he asks a question. Let me see here. He asked, does anybody think that the police have finally caught the Shi killer? And he sends out a sonar just to see if there's any like blips in the courtroom. Nobody really has a blip except for this young lady, Anna. And he can tell, this is what I love about Daredevil books. Her slightest motion, he doesn't have to see her to know she's beautiful. Her slightest motion is delicate and graceful despite her anxiety. She holds her head high, her back straight and proud. He can hear the rustling of her silk suit as she fidgets, can smell her apple shampoo. There's a trace scent of something unusual. So this is Shi right here. And as you can see, he's familiar with it, with many aromas given off of a woman's makeup. And he writes a note asking about this young woman in the court audience. Trial gets over. Meanwhile, later they end up going out to Forest Hills. Love this lettering here. Just love this. Look at that. DD, and then the customized font. This happens throughout this issue. It's really cool touch. So here's a compound for Dr. Stephen Timmons. She's coming in there. Look at that superhero landing. As Deadpool would say, nailed it. So she's going in to take care of the corruptness and all this. She comes upon a security officer. This looks like a canine unit. And right at the right time, there's Daredevil. He pops up. Look at this splash page. Gotta freaking love it. Look at that. I love the texture they used on her boots. And of course, there's DD. Told you. You guys would love red in this. If you love red, this is your issue. Fight pursues. She misses him. She's very good, by the way. She isn't just some ninja. She is trained to be a warrior. And she was trained by warrior monks. So she's not a slouch. She can really fight. Daredevil totally evades her attacks. She doesn't get it. She basically says, oh, it's like you're reading my mind. And he plays that up, of course. Look at that. Great action shots in these. There we go with that. This drives me nuts. I like this art, how that played out. They never really come to blows because they start getting shot upon, as you can see here. And just to give you an idea why she's not a slouch, look at this action shot and how she's dodging the bullets completely. And of course, we know Daredevil can do that because of his sonar. I hate to call it sonar, but it is. I love this shot too. Now up here, we come back to the Daily Bugle. Look at that. There you go again. Just love this lettering. You may see me copy it at some point. That's what it's lettering in boxes. It's Daredevil talking to Ben, explaining everything that happened. He's going to do a little looking around for him. Daredevil breaks his cigarette. How rude. Not in love with that face. Been a lot of good attention done to the backgrounds here. How good that looks. And then you got the snow. So meanwhile, meanwhile, we're going back to Hell's Kitchen. Sister Maggie, Sister Maggie is associated with Daredevil. She's his confidant and helper with religion. She's working there in the food kitchen. This is Shi's mom. She introduces her to Anna. And they explain, what the deal is with Shi. As a child, Anna was torn between Japanese martial tradition and Christianity. In light of recent events, she feels disconnected from both. So she's got a definite internal struggle. Now, I do like this. You got four panels, and then the sidebar here, and the action shots. Absolutely think that's cool. Then, of course, in comes Matt. He's talking with Sister Maggie, going over some stuff. She empathizes and helps him along. Meanwhile, back in Hell's Kitchen, at the Matt Murdock, or the apartment of Matt Murdock and Karen Page. Actually, I think it's Manhattan. Not Hell's Kitchen, part of Manhattan, but Manhattan. As you look here, you got Foggy going through the fridge. There's a little, just some dialogue explaining why the Karen's in LA. Matt's doing his workout. Foggy's doing his workout by eating. This is a funny sequence. I love this. I love the drawing on it. How it crosses over frames, going from lighter to darker. Nice little action shot. He jumps over Foggy. Still amazes him. It's like, how can a blind guy do that? That's crazy. There you go. And up here, back at Anna's office. So here you go, Mikado. Once again, I'm so sorry. This is not my usual independent comic, but I think it's Mikado, or Mikado, which is a clan. It's a shoot off of the hand, supposedly. Look at that. Look at her face. I like the inking on this page and the color. Yet we have found a new purpose, a new destiny. The Mikado live for the harmony of the soul. We offer to share our purpose with you. So they want to have her join that clan. Meanwhile, on the roof, Daredevil sees 3 attackers. That's the roof of the church, by the way. 3 attackers. He's going after them. Here, they're still working on Maggie. Don't like her hair there, but hey, it's all right. It works in other parts. They finally get her down to resistance, and she agrees to go down their path. Now, I like that panel. That's appropriate use of that panel. That looks good, that half panel at the bottom there. They slowly put a pension around her neck. It feels warm to her. Daredevil is going down to the last fighter. And here you go. She will be the vessel which the Mikado Oni will inhabit. Through this dark Madonna, a new breed of warriors shall be born. Anna reads the ancient scroll in silence. The words themselves are a trap designed to mesmerize the reader. She is entranced, dangerously susceptible to outside influence. Simply pray for an ancient evil. That looks pretty cool. And then here you go. Bam! The Mikado Oni has come. By the way, if you can hear my wife in the background, she is working from home, answering phones, so I'm not sure if y'all can hear it. I'll see if I can fix it and edit. If not, that's my wife. So here we go, Daredevil beating this last guy down. Another great action scene. I like action scenes like this. I don't need too much detail. It gives a general idea. Sonar goes off, and there she is. The Mikado have need of your blood, devil, and they shall have it. Dang, look at that. And so, to be continued, Shi, Daredevil, honor thy mother. So you see that's where they're going to switch it up. The one that's produced by Crusade will be Shi. And then you have some solicitations. I really like these. I like the coloring and everything on these. The art on these is great. They're introducing the creative teams because this is a number 1. So, this team may already been in, but they're like, well, you got to come and read J.M. DeMatteis and Ron Garney. And here you go with the Wolverine. Once again, classic 90s. Larry Hama and Anthony Wynn. Great run with Larry Hama. Ghost Rider. Ian Velez Jr. and Pop Man. And Elektra. That's our girl right there, Elektra. With Peter Milligan and Mike Deodato. And then, of course, the last one, Never Say Die, Even If It Kills You, X-Man. And you'll line up for that. So, back page. Tell you, I should have made this a Hulk Marine Devil Fever. It was perfect. And that, of course, is for their game, the game that came out in 97. So, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being patient. I just did a video a little bit ago, thanking everybody for being patient. I've been going through some almost said mental health issues. Everybody knows that, but some health issues that I had to work through. Very painful. Seems to be a repeating factor for me, but I'm always going to fight to come back. I appreciate all the subscribers that have stuck with me. I really appreciate those who watch me. Thank you so much. If you're not a subscriber and you like good comic art business videos, please make sure to subscribe and like and share if you'd like. And we look forward to seeing you next Thursday for Hulk Vereen, Devil, Fever, and then Friday again for Eye for Indies. Have a great weekend.